In his book Vigadhala Madhava, Sri Rupa Goswami thus describes the vibration of Krishna's flute. The sound vibration created by the flute of Krishna wonderfully stopped Lord Shiva from playing his dindima drum. And the same flute has caused great sages like the four Kumaras to become disturbed in their meditation. It has caused Lord Brahma, who was sitting in the lotus flower for the creative function, to become astonished. And Anantadev, who was calmly holding all the planets on his hood and was moving in this way, and that due to the transcendental vibration from Krishna's flute, which penetrated through the covering of this universe and reached to the spiritual sky. Wow, now this information I don't think you get anywhere in any theological department. not like just about God, but like that he plays musical instruments. What? And like the instrument itself, like flute. I remember like how I got attracted to a violin. I actually don't remember if I was attracted to violin or flute, because they were both in symphonies. They usually play next to each other. And I was sitting in the back section where right next to the violin and flute area. And I was just mesmerized by the tune, by the vibration. So what to speak about when God plays the flute, right? It's like so inconceivable. That's really must be something. Yeah, and it completely transcendently disturbs. Like the Kumaras were disturbed, right? Lord Brahma, his creation, his creative power was astonished, it was said. So yes. Yeah, I can see perhaps maybe atheists or agnostics or maybe even other religions that would question like, what's the purpose of God having to play a flute or having all these like things?
All these activities, all these playful activities.
Yeah, why would he do that? And like someone, I remember in Israel, someone was not challenging, he was just curious about the onion and garlic thing. And of course, we can answer that in a like shastric way of, I don't know, explaining that it's not in a mode of goodness, or it's bad in Ayurveda, it's increasing different doshas and all kind of things like that. But I like many times our Prabhupada, he explains it as, you know, Krishna doesn't like. Krishna doesn't like. Why do you want to give him something he doesn't like?
Very personal.
Yeah. Yeah. If you love someone and you know he doesn't like something, like I would not care why you don't like it. It's like kind of like a challenging, like I want you to like it because you like it, and like this is usually why people ask that, right? Because you tell them no onion and garlic, let's say, right? And they're like bewildered. Oh my God, my mother, she was all the time cooking with onion and garlic, and I'm cooking with how can I deny this experience to my children? It's part of the human experience. So yeah, we can give why, right? There are so many books of the Vedic literatures that explain from so many different points of view why, but if we don't get that God is a person and he doesn't need that why, that's his personality, that's his free will, that's his expression. Personal taste, yeah. Then the whole point of digging into the Vedic literatures, there's no meaning. Matasmyatim Gyanam, no, what is it? Vedantis cha sarvai aham avavidya, Vedantavit Vedantakrit evachaham. By all Vedas, I'm to be known. So if we don't know Krishna, then there's no question, no meaning to knowing the Vedas. This one gentleman, he challenged me once in Montreal when I was doing books. I wanted to give him the Krishna book. And there was a period of time when I was distributing only Krishna books. I would distribute like 5, 6 of them a day. For me, it was like really a lot. And he told me, I read all the Vedas. Like really, like in his late, maybe early 30s. Like at that time, I was like 22 or 23. So, and I met him a few times across my 6 years living there. And every time he would advance a little bit more. But my first interaction with him was, it was very challenging. He was saying, I read all the Vedas, and Krishna is not the purpose of the Vedas. Don't tell me that. And I just learned that verse that became my favorite verse. Matas mirtim gyanam apohanam cha vedantis chastavai muhammadam vedanta vit vedanta krit evachaham. And he was like, I don't remember if it was blushing or it was just red, and he just went up the escalator. He didn't talk to me, didn't speak to me. And yeah, then I would meet him after 1 year. I would meet him randomly in 2 years, and it's really interesting to see people's progress in like a long time that you don't see them, and they think about these interactions. We might think, oh, we spoke with them for 5 minutes, and what is the benefit? But there is such a big benefit actually. Just Prabhupada says, just by touching a book, they get so much benefit. Just by seeing the book, they're getting so much benefit. Like on my channel, there's many random people. They come and they comment it because they don't know what is this Krishna consciousness. But just because they see a book or they see something that relates to Krishna, it starts their journey back home, back to God.
Yeah, special. Krishna revealed that verse to you just at the perfect time.
Yes. Yeah, and I learned it at the time, and I immediately, like a few days after that, I was already using it without any Sanskrit introduction. Probably I don't even pronounce it right, but the vibration, I think, is it like, would you say, Dhira Govinda Prabhu, like, let's say we don't pronounce it like perfectly, is still like this, because Prabhupada says that even if someone doesn't understand the meaning of the mantra, he gets the benefit because there's like a vibration that acts from the Sanskrit.
Vibration. Krishna's hearing our sincerity. Krishna's hearing our sincerity, and so sometimes Prabhupada will receive criticism by like people in India, scholars who knew Sanskrit, and Prabhupada students weren't even chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra properly. And Prabhupada would say, Krishna knows what they're saying. Krishna understands what they're saying. So, like the fact that it's about the sincerity, and then the vibration is potent. We don't want to use that as an excuse to be sloppy about our pronunciation. Part of love is we do give attention to detail, for sure. But then even like, I'll say whatever verse with a Philadelphia Mid-Eastern type of accent, someone else can say it with a New York accent, like that. And so it's not, maybe it wasn't the original Vedic Brahmins didn't say it like that. But it's potent with the sincerity.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember one example in a conversation, Prabhupada, or in a class, Prabhupada was like transcendentally, I don't know, angry, or he made a statement to the devotees because they were chanting the Shiguru Vandana, and instead of Guru, they said Gora or Guru. And then Prabhupada, he was giving the class and he was saying, like, just like my students, they say, instead of Guru, they say Gora, which means a cow. So I know they don't mean that the spiritual master is a cow.
He was in a joking mood. At least one time he said that. Yes, the spiritual master is not a cow. But I know that they're sincere.
Yes. Krishna is in the hearts. I remember too, from the other point of view, Prabhupada, there was this, I think it's just a memory. Prabhupada, he was giving some lecture on the Ratha Yatra, and he mentioned that Lord Chaitanya came to shave you. And because Prabhupada pronunciation of the S and that sh is like similar somewhat. And everyone looked at each other. And then Prabhupada picked it up from the audience and he said, he came to shave you and to save you. To save you and to shave you. So I found it really cute. So we read We'll read another one. The last one is going to be long.
Okay.
So we can stop there and keep the creme de la creme for Sunday evening. I think that's when the next Nectar devotion session is going to be. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Prabhu, will you please pray over my food for me? I don't know the mantra to offer the food to Krishna, but would you please pray for me?
Yeah, sure. I can also send you the 3 mantras after.
That'd be amazing.
Should I do it now or after we finish reading?
After we finish reading, I guess. I apologize.
No problem. So 63, it's one before the last. Open your ears and open your hearts. Krishna is surrounded by loving devotees such as Bhakta Kith Prabhu. Hare Krishna. When we speak of Krishna, Krishna is not alone. Krishna means his name, his quality, his fame, his friends, his paraphernalia, his entourage. All these are included. When we speak of a king, it is to be understood that he is surrounded by ministers, secretaries, military commanders, and many other people. Similarly, Krishna is not impersonal. In his Vrindavan Lila, especially, he is surrounded by the gopis, the cowherd boys, his father, his mother, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. It's short, but it's so deep in terms of how Krishna appears in our hearts. Would anyone like to reflect on that?
Want to read it again?
Krishna is surrounded by loving devotees. When we speak of Krishna, Krishna is not alone. Krishna means his name, his qualities, his fame, his friends, his paraphernalia, his entourage. All of these are included. When we speak of a king, it is to be understood that he is surrounded by ministers, secretaries, military commanders, and many other people. Similarly, Krishna is not impersonal. In his Vrindavan Lila especially, he is surrounded by the gopis, the cowherd boys, his father, his mother, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Yeah, so just like a king is not. When we say king, it means a kingdom. It means a palace. It means servants. It means horses, right? No, you said you have cows, not horses. Cows. And yeah, it's true. It's something that I think in some point of time, perception of God, it was eliminated or alienated. That God means friend. God means community. And I really like how Prabhupada, he just so simply puts it back into our heart, into our consciousness, that God is not alone. God is always surrounded by loving devotees. Specifically, Krishna, he has devotees. I think if we go back to the previous chapter where Prabhupada briefly speaks about, it's interesting when he briefly speaks about this chapter, he calls the chapter a bit differently. So he would say loving devotees that love him unconditionally or to like a very great extent. And yeah, it's really, really, really special. Especially Vrindavan.
Even in this picture here, so there's no gopis or cowherd boys. But Sid Prabhupada will emphasize that everything's a devotee. So the river Yamuna is a devotee, the flute's a devotee, The trees are devotees. Each blade of grass is a devotee.
And maybe there's a Kaliya snake underneath.
Whatever it is, yeah. All the fish are.
Yeah.
Everyone's a devotee, and just so they can.
You see the tapestry?
Yes, yeah. I noticed that yesterday you and Keith were sitting in front of it, performing the last class, and I was like really enchanted by the tapestry. It never stands upright.
Krishna.
Yeah, so just like everything we perceive here has a spiritual world. So yeah, society, friendship, and love, they originate from Krishna's society, Krishna's friendship, Krishna's love. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so the next one is it's long and dense with many references. I kind of would like to keep it for like Sunday evening. Yeah, there's a special atmosphere in the Sunday evening session. And I feel complete unless someone wants to share something.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for the translation.
Yeah, 9:30 we do in 1 hour, a little bit more than 1 hour. Me and Keith, we're gonna do some chanting. I'm gonna stream it live on YouTube, and it's gonna be live on the Facebook page of the Kirtan group. So if you're around, welcome to join us, Jace.
I'm gonna try my darndest. Maybe I won't be such a distraction.